are pleased to have with us a man of varied talents. Over the years, Michael Sullivan has been actively involved in both the economic development and fine art worlds. As an independent art historian, he brings a unique blend of fine art and business. He is recognized as one of 4 Francis Davis Millet scholars. Millet was, in the 19th century, one of the key leaders who placed American art firmly on the world's cultural stage. As a recognized scholar and speaker, we are pleased to have Michael share his insights and experience with us today. Please join with me in welcoming Michael Sullivan to our stage.
Good afternoon. For those of you who ate fast, you can do whatever you want, or if you brought some with you, great. We're really fortunate. We have a great group of speakers with us today on the ship, and most of us will be here for a while more. I will mention on Easter Sunday, Holland America's asked me to do kind of a special presentation. It will be at 11 o'clock on Bernini. That'll be part 1 of Bernini, and then at 2 o'clock, the second half of Bernini. Basically, the father of the Baroque who changed Rome forever. So, there are very few artists, as we look today, we're going to be moving pretty quickly, that anybody trained in Western art history knows a great deal about. We know about Da Vinci, we know about Michelangelo, we know about Raphael. But from long, long ago, Caravaggio is one of those artists who for almost all of history has been forgotten. In fact, it's only in the last 80 years that Caravaggio actually came in to our consciousness. Now, Caravaggio, that we're going to be looking at today, is filled with unique talent. He broke ground in all kinds of artistic methods of expression, but he was also a very troubled man, often provoked into trouble. His name actually is Michelangelo Merisi. Now, Merisi was the son of a stonemason in Milan, and they worked for the powerful Safrosa family in the Lombardy province around Milan. Now, the Merisi family seems to have been successful enough that here in Caravaggio, Lombardy, Italy, that they had a home, an apartment in Milan and a home here in Caravaggio. And on the 29th of September of 1571, Caravaggio was born. And like Da Vinci before him, he took the name of his town as his preferred name. Hence, we know him as Caravaggio. So, sadly, as the result of the plague, Caravaggio's father and both his grandparents died when he was 6 years old. And only 4 years later, his mother also died. Now, records show that Caravaggio had demonstrated tremendous amount of talent, and by 12 years old, he was apprenticed to one of the well-known painters of Milan, and where he'd learned to manufacture paint, he'd learned to prepare surfaces, he'd learned to do a great deal. In fact, he seems to have been producing what I would refer to as the Instagrams of today. They were, another term, the hack portraits, the head and shoulders dashed off quickly. And they were the artists of the time were called upon to produce these in large numbers. This is Caravaggio, Merisi di Caravaggio, Michelangelo. And we realize that actually, he was a bad boy, kind of rock star of his day. And just like rock bands, he had to go from club to making ends meet. And having considerable talent, he would move from studio to studio painting still lifes. He would paint the head and shoulders paintings. Then he would sell them on the street for pocket money. Now, Caravaggio was particularly talented in the fact that he could paint very fast. He could paint directly on the canvas without sketches, without charcoal, without anything. And his hit songs were religious paintings, unfortunately for him. Those religious paintings didn't seem to rub off, and like the bad boy rock star, he would get into trouble and didn't mind breaking a few things here and there. In fact, one wonderful story is he was eating dinner in a restaurant and the waiter brought him a platter of artichokes. And he wanted to know that half of them had been told were cooked in butter and half in oil. And he said, which were which? And the waiter said, well, try them and then you'll know. To which Caravaggio picked up the platter, chucked it at the waiter, gashed his head, and was promptly arrested and thrown into jail. Unfortunately, most of what we know about Caravaggio actually comes from those jail incursions and court incursions he had, where he would be accused. He would then have to stand and bear testimony about what he was doing, why he was doing it, and try and get out of what he was doing. And so for 38 years, he had a brief 18 in Rome that preceded his move from Milan to Rome to Naples to Malta to Sicily, back to Naples. All the while he was trying to get out of jail or stay out of jail. He didn't even get $200 for passing go. Each time, though, that he got into trouble, it was his artistic talent that would save him.